getting van life, but in a Highlander.
Kind of sucked last night because it was cold and rainy and I was stuck in my car, but look at this view. It is worth waiting to wake up to. Just see,
This is amazing. This is bliss. Fort Bragg or bust, hybrid van life, and choosing to stop numbing my pain and start listening to it. And I stopped running from my healing and started running toward it. I stopped alcohol, self-abandonment, and chaos patterns. I came here to breathe, to trust myself, to come home to me. Welcome to my channel, This Way to Bliss, where I hike and explore and car camp in my hybrid SUV and heal through nature, one hop, skip, and step at a time. Hi, I'm Candace Shea Frazier. This is my story of growing through grief instead of giving up, resetting my nervous system, and breaking my addiction to chaos and confusion. Out here, I found the strength to keep going and the first sparks of balance, bliss, freedom, and fun after the fallout of divorce, loss, betrayal, and abandonment. I have so many adventures to share, so make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It really helps us out. And we're off, packed and ready to go.
dun dun dun, dun dun. Going camping, going camping. They're pretty blue and 80 plus degrees to go to the sea where it's a little chilly and cloudy but beautiful.
March 2022, first camping trip of the season. This time everything felt different. I had decided to choose sobriety from alcohol and go no contact from toxic energy and to stop running from my own healing. And I knew I was in the right place once I reached the Pacific Coast Highway where the redwoods meet the coast, where that hybrid of that and my own choice to create a hybrid van life, choosing freedom over comfort and realizing, what if I could have both? A home base and a car setup in a way that I could live a van lifestyle whenever I wanted. My determination to heal and deep soul searching led me to ask myself, what would I miss the most? And that curiosity saved my life. Instead of giving up, I chose to grow through grief and reclaim my lost parts and become whole again. Okay, so I made it to Fort Bragg and I'm in my car in a camp spot and I got it all set up sweet. Got the little fairy lights going on, and see if I can flip it here. Got my pup. What's up, pup? She's like, I don't know, not quite sure. And then there's my food and more food. Getting van life, but in a Highlander. So I have pretty much everything I need in here. I have clothes, pots, pans, everything. And it makes me so happy. Got a cooler, dry food, another cooler over there, my wood, water. So the question of the day, how is it okay for someone to be happy when they're still supposed to, by society standards, should be grieving and not happy? Or is it okay to really be happy after loss and when you still feel like maybe you should be punishing yourself? The question of how do I allow myself to be happy? That's the one we want to think about. So it's not too complicated, but it takes a little bit of digging. And then once you figure out what the belief is, and then you smother it with love, then you can flip it. So can you be happy after loss and trauma? Yes. If you make the decision that you're going to do that no matter what and don't let anything get in your way. Yes. And that means facing those parts of yourself that you don't feel are lovable or worthy or seen or heard. And that means having someone witness with you your experience and not judge you. And that's me. I have a no judgment zone. I'm here to witness. And if you ask for guidance, I'm here for guidance. But I don't push things that aren't in alignment with you on you. I help you discover what is in alignment with you. And then you take that equation and keep speaking that language of bliss. For me, it's not complicated. I love nature. I love camping. I love art and animals. So when you narrow it down to like, what are the top 3 things that you need besides, food and water and shelter? What are the other things? Again, it goes back to, there's a lot of unresolved stuff that our inner child didn't understand, didn't know how to communicate it. Sorry, I couldn't talk there. Didn't know how to communicate it, didn't know how to communicate what their needs were. And if you have a family that you grew up in that was toxic, or even not toxic but not present, it's a whole lot of stuff that you got to now as an adult process. Not put a Band-Aid on, not drink it away, not drug it away, not sex it away, not overwork it away or over exercise it away. You've got to sit with it and allow it to flow through you. And then once you're allowing and aware, then you can let go and speak the language of bliss. With a smile on my face, peace in my heart and soul, I was lulled to sleep by the ocean's ebb and flow. And I woke to a very chilly morning, but I didn't care because I was in nature. And nature has taught me sometimes the view is worth the uncomfortable wait. Well, here I am waking up. I've been waking up because it's cold. It's like 48 degrees. Hence why I'm sleeping with my hat on. But it's cloudy out, so the sun, can't really see it. But that's okay. I'm comfy. And while my head was a little cold, my body's warm. So I gotta get up and pay the ranger the camping fees for this spot, since there was no one there to do it last night. And it was dark. I couldn't find my way back to the front to do that if I wanted, but I'm sure they'll be coming around collecting fees soon. But I'm at the ocean, like steps away. That's where I woke up today. That's how you create a bliss life. My soul said, take me to the ocean, so here I am. As I stepped out and got a good look at the campsite that was completely covered in darkness when I came in, I was in awe. MacKerricher State Park, just off Highway 1, this land was originally homeland to the northern Pomo and Coast Yuki tribes for thousands of years, where they gathered seaweed, shellfish, acorns, and used those tidal pools and coastal forests. Just wow. The area was later part of the Mendocino Indian Reservation, established in 1856 and officially decommissioned in 1865. In 1864, Duncan MacKerricher and his wife Jessie moved from Canada and bought 1,000 acres, named Rancho MacKerricher, until sold to the state by their heirs. In 1916, a logging branch of the railroad, the 10 Mile branch, was built from Fort Bragg's mill site up toward 10 Mile River, which later was replaced by haul roads for logging trucks in 1949. In 1952, the area officially became a state park, and it now covers 2,299 acres and about 9 miles of California coastline. A must-see on your bucket list, if I do say so. So as you can see, I've already poured the water in. Cafe press. Stir that up. This will go in here. Let that sit. And then I'm gonna make my oatmeal. I put some cashew butter in here, sprinkle with some cinnamon. If I had bananas, I'd chop a banana up on it. And sometimes I like to put walnuts in it too, but this already has enough. I don't need to do that, but I'll do this. And that's it. And then I'll make my coffee. Okay. Coffee pressed. Got some
stevia, some creamer, cashew butter, because it makes oatmeal better. Always. That morning goodness. Very troubling to film pouring and pouring at the same time. Sounded a lot of things, but apparently that's not one of them. But it's okay. This is amazing. Doesn't get any better than this. Doesn't get any simpler than this. This is bliss. The simple life. Yeah, it's a little cold, but I grew up in the cold, so it doesn't really bother me. I got some nice boots on my feet, and I'm warm. My chihuahua is buried in blankets. Got my warm beverage and my oatmeals I'm making. Once the ranger comes by to give him my ticket for the admission thingy so I can pay for my sight, then I'm gonna go to the beach. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'd already been there, but I have to wait till 9 when this place opens. So this is the new spot for the night. Check it out. Dun, dun, dun. Sweet. But it's time to go to the beach. Let's go. Bam! To the right here is Lake Cleone. It's a freshwater lake within the park. Originally it was a tidal lagoon and a marsh, but it became closed off and isolated, so the saltwater flow changed. A perfect metaphor for transformation, salty instability to fresh clarity. And this overpass here used to be the old haul road that trains and trucks once rumbled with logs. It's now silent, and it invites you into peace. That shift from extraction to restoration parallels what we're doing here with our inner world. Okay, and we are off for a walk to the ocean. I also want to add that Lake Cleone has a loop trail. It's 1.3 miles around the lake that is great for morning reflection, walks, photography, videography, calm water mirroring the sky and the redwoods. It's home to herons, turtles, and an occasional otter. And paralleling is the lake used to taste like salt, now it's fresh and still. Proof that healing happens quietly, one tide at a time. Do be cautious though, because there are undertow and sneaker waves in this area, so be mindful of that. Be swept away by the beauty, not the waves. I'm sinking in the sand. This experience and moment has marked my leap of courage and a promise to choose clarity over coping and peace over perfection, and to embrace my fear and lean in and say, well, what if it goes right? And look, what began as a trip to the ocean became a deeper homecoming to being grounded in balance, calm, self-respect. I learned that freedom isn't found in escaping the storm, but in no longer rocking your own boat. When you face your fears and take bold action and realize that no matter what the outside world looks like, with self-love and conscious, intentional living, you are always at home within your own heart. cold. That's what you call undertow. Sober looks good on me. No longer numbing, my inner child can now laugh, play, and be free. Because I made it back home to my heart. Now I feel loved, safe, and seen with me, making my own bliss, nothing amiss. If you're struggling with self-loathing, the remedy is self-loving. You see, the mind spirals when your heart is starving. And I used to hold my breath, my truth, and my needs. But now I hold myself. And I discovered I was the one rocking my own boat, and I decided to steady it. And asking myself that question, what would I miss most if I wasn't here, opened the door back to my soul. So much fun. Thanks to the Namaste Way, I found myself, and now I share it on here, This Way to Bliss. Nature is where I learned how to speak the language of inner peace. And I'm back. Whoops. Go with pretty flowers. Pretty puppy. Pretty cool spot. My little sanctuary in case it rains. But chill time. Potato, bacon, eggs, fire, chihuahua. Nobody around, just me and the divinity of the trees. Just zillin', woo woo, making my own bliss, nothing amiss. Somehow I ended up putting this on slow-mo, so it botched the whole recording. But anyway, I'm whipping up some food here real quick. Now, as I said before, this wasn't just a camping trip. It was my first sober, solo, hybrid van life adventure and the beginning of choosing freedom over comfort. The plan is 3 nights and 4 days of me, my pup, my Highlander, the ocean, and the version of myself I had abandoned, avoided, and numbed for years. I didn't come here to escape life. I came here to finally be in it. This trip was where I stopped running from my healing and really immersed myself in it. No more hiding from the pain, but learning how to hear my intuition and my soul's call without drowning in the grief that I had gone through. And after decades of being depressed, dissociated, anxious, dysregulated, and even hopeless and at times suicidal, this grounded presence that nature was embracing me in was very welcomed. Even with the discomfort of being in the cold and sleeping in my car, I felt more alive here than any day that I had tried to numb myself into comfort previously. Excuse me while I nourish my body. And this is hybrid van life. It's not perfect, it's not glamorous, but it is possible. It's a new way of living, a new way of breathing, and a new way of believing in myself. It's too rainy to take a walk on the boardwalk, and I clearly wasn't going to be cooking, so I made my way into town to go in search of something already made hot. A contrast that even more so drove home the point I need a Class B van because I wouldn't have this problem if I had one. I wouldn't have to leave. I would just make something inside the van. Because with celiac, I have a gluten and dairy allergy, so I have to bring my own food everywhere I go anyway, so it would be better. It just kind of sucked that I couldn't enjoy the clam chowder and the fish that would be locally sourced here, but it is what it is, and I still find my own way. Luckily, the campground's only 3 miles north of town. And so I did a Google search and I found a yummy burger place where I could get a protein-style burger. With French fries and a burger in hand, I made it back to the campsite and was trapped in my car because it was raining. So I watched a movie on my phone, cuddled with my pup, and turned on my fairy lights and went to sleep. I woke the next day to the sun shining and super excited for the day's adventure.
Okay, woke up. It rained. Raccoons got into my stuff. And I'm at a really cool camper over here. But right now I'm getting ready to whip up my pups some food, and then I'm gonna make myself some coffee. And I am gonna go check out this hike. It rained all night last night. And yeah, downside of van life in a not van. You can't really do much when it's raining outside, except sit in your car or SUV or whatever it is you're in. So I'll be glad when I have my own revel, like the people over here next to me. I wonder why I'm whispering. Definitely enjoy being in nature and absolute freedom to do whatever it is I feel like at the moment. Like, I took a walk already this morning. I'm not this active when I live in my apartment. And I'm going to be going to the beach here after I make coffee before I go downhill to take a hike, because it's right here. So, amazeballs. Have an awesome day. Here's a tip. If you ever find yourself completely anxious, overwhelmed, or just disconnected, go outside, take a breath, and just scan the sky, the trees, the ground. Look at the colors, the sights, the sounds, the smells, and it will bring you home to your peace within. I made breakfast to go and landed at Laguna Point, which I will go take a hike after I'm done eating, because around that corner is more view. The Laguna Point Boardwalk leads out to a seal observation deck and tide pools. It's a short, accessible loop. It's under 1 mile, offering panoramic views of rocky headlands and immersion in ocean spray, while the wind-blown cypress trees frame and arch the walkway. One of the things I love about van life is it forces me to get up and walk every day, because I'm in beautiful places, which means I want to explore them. Which means I gotta move my body to get there. And who wouldn't want to get up and take this walk every morning? Wowza. You say you do tricks for food? Well, I got no food for you. Not even afraid of me.
Wildlife.
Yeah, he's so wild.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
He came up and
be facetious there.
He begged.
Fat well.
It's like a cute little roundabout. Mr. Squirrel. See if he knows I ain't gonna hurt him. Hey, little buddy. Oh, I think I know where I'm coming back.
play. Each trail here at MacKerricher tells a story, not just of the land, but of the heart. The northern Pomo that once walked these shores in rhythm with the tides, and now we do the same, learning to listen, to slow down, to belong. From the stillness of Lake Cleone to the wild breath of the 10-mile dunes, this coastline invites us to remember what it means to come home. Every step is an act of alchemy, turning judgment into curiosity, fear into freedom, and survival into presence. Out here, play becomes prayer. Healing isn't forced, it's found in the rhythm of the waves, the call of the seabird, and the moment you realize you were never lost. You're only waiting to remember yourself. As you can see, the contrast between the industrial past and ecological restoration is striking. It's interesting, where trains once hauled redwoods, now feet and hearts move at nature's pace. December through April, you can watch gray whales migrate offshore. And it's interesting, standing at Laguna Point felt like the edge of the world, a place where silence speaks louder than thoughts. You see, nature invites us to slow down, witness, and be present. Use that pause to ask, if home is where the heart is, what part of me still feels unhome? Do you ever wonder why people are so fascinated with just watching waves? They fascinate and terrify me at the same time. Anyone else? Now we're going to do it Canada style. We're going to go off the beaten path. So the road less traveled. Oh, there's critters running around. I would say I'd come back here and have a picnic, but I know these little prairie dogs wouldn't leave me be. All these little holes. Hey, buddy. I was way over there.
Yeah. Check out this view. Can you say heaven on Mother Earth? Part 2. It's freaking amazing. Go find your adventure. Kind of sucked last night because it was cold and rainy and I was stuck in my car, but look at this view. It is worth waiting to wake up to. Just see, smile. And I didn't have to do anything but walk to this, like, nature. Yeah, I was walking that path. I went all the way over there. And I started from there, and there's the trail there that goes back over where that is. And then around on the other side of that tree, which is where the parking lot is. And that's where I'm headed back to. So I've got to go pay for my next night of camping. And yeah, people will absolutely pay for it. They do. And you know what's beautiful is this day use park is free. Like, yeah. So really, really cool. But totally wish you were here. Totally wish you were here. This is an amazing, amazing place. I mean, look at that view. The smell is amazing. It smells like the ocean. Oh, look, we have another friend. So how would you build your bliss? Because bliss isn't something you find, it's something you curate and experience. And nature, it's the catalyst that makes negative energy go poof and sends your energy through the roof. The decision I'd made on March 13th was the beginning of a new me. And changes needed to be made for the well-being and taking better care of myself, evaluating what I put in my body, how it made me feel, and if it didn't make me feel good, it needed to go. Booze, negative vibes, indecisiveness, perfectionism, self-doubt, self-abandonment all had to go. They were avoidance, but also part of what I needed to learn how to integrate. They created waves of self-loathing that I would also have to navigate and recover from. And I knew deeply I needed to learn new coping skills to deal with the stresses of life so I could curate and experience bliss. What a beautiful little walk. Thank you for joining me. Have a blissed day and life. Mwah. Time for the next adventure. You ready? Glass Beach, technically just outside the park boundary, but part of the same coastal system. This is where you can find sea-smothered glass shards that shimmer like jewels at low tide. It's remnants of Fort Bragg's old dump turned into beauty. Proof that even what was once discarded can be transformed into something breathtaking. The art of alchemy in its purest form. And the bird watching is unparalleled here. And speaking of alchemy, I think one of the biggest reasons that I chose to go here first for my first big, long road trip adventure by myself was going back to make new memories where I had memories that weren't so pleasant and were painful, that needed to be alchemized from a victim mode to victor mode. And so as I walked through this, the memories came flooding back and the grief replaced with gratitude, and the loss to liberation became the new story that I wrote, tracing those new steps. Welcome to Glass Beach. This heart-shaped rock I found in 2018 at Point Arena
was the same shores where my awakening first began. Didn't know it then, but this was where I would come back and discover what freedom really feels like. I used to operate a lot differently before I knew what I know now. You see, when you're living in a survival state, you take for granted the simple act of breathing. You're doing it, but is it right? Usually no. You see, we hold tension in our breath. And as any person that is active in nature will tell you, it restores your ability to connect back to your breath and to stop bracing, and shows you how to start being conscious, intentional, and self-loving. This is how we navigate choppy waters and stop rocking our own boat and hijacking our happy, especially with one of the most approved toxins for our mind and the most widely accepted form of self-harm through consuming alcohol. I mean, personally for me, let's face it, it never felt good the day after drinking a glass of wine. Instantly, within moments of drinking, it would wreck my mood, creating anxiety, which I know internally was inflaming both my brain and body. It was also abandoning myself and disconnecting me from my inner being and my spirit. And of course, the fallout of that is self-loathing, which will send you even more spiraling emotionally and then beating yourself down and stressing out over all the things that really don't matter. Like, am I going to fit in? If I stop, what will people think? And worrying, am I being ridiculous? I don't have a problem with it. I don't like the way it makes me feel. But as I know now, all of that was my ego mind wanting the very things that hijacked my happy, healthy, wealthy human experience. Self-harm and self-loathing had to shift to self-loving and self-caring for the win. Worry wasn't creating love, safety, or belonging. It was creating the opposite. With a congenital heart defect, I absolutely needed to be mindful of stress, including what I eat, drink, especially sugar. So no more polluting my body just to fit in. No more inner critic. No more perfectionism. Just me. Happy, healthy, and wealthy. This is like 1 minute away from... This is the campground. This is where I'm headed. If the search I did on these is correct, these bright yellow blooms belong to the ice plant, an invasive species brought here long ago. It spreads fast and covers the entire dunes. Yet even here, beneath its thick carpet, native flowers like the rare Mendocino spine flower still fight for space. Nature always finds a way to remind us resilience grows in the most unlikely places. Every grain of sand here has survived the wind, just like every part of you that's still standing. The Mendocino spine flower shows us that even as an endangered plant that clings to survival in shifting sands, that if that flower can thrive where everything else seems impossible, so can we. is that? Barnacles. Lots of little ones. I don't know if those are freaky. This is why I don't like swimming in the ocean, because look at all this. Ugh. As I sat watching this sunset, I reflected on a sense of being healed, because the past seems to no longer hold my pain. Only admiration and gratitude for the version of me that endured and evolved. Self-sourced love shifted me from self-sabotage, self-harm, and self-loathing game. Bliss is curated when your inner and outer game are aligned. Life is divine, full of beauty, harmonious rhythms, and rhymes. Get grounded in love and reset your groove from ow to wow. Some dinner on there. Shake, shake, shake. Lights. Marshmallows later. But lights. How genius is that? Fire. When we surrender to fear, we grieve. That's when we shift our mindset. When we get curious on discovering how to create happiness and live a bliss life after trauma and loss. In that darkness, you will meet your badass self. And when you're there, forgive yourself. That's what I did, and began being love and being present in every now, focused on the wow. I got my groove back and unleashed my bliss, and you can too. So if you're struggling, don't give up. You are not alone. Healing is real. I am living proof. And this trip was where I stopped abandoning myself and started remembering who I am and came home to my heart. Healing doesn't happen when life gets easier. It only happens when we learn to stop abandoning ourselves and choose healthier coping skills. Learn ways to buffer the stress of life, building us up and our steps to our bliss. Last day of the trip and waking up to another beautiful sunrise, a little chilly, but just so much beauty and bliss.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It has been a fabulous 4-day week and in the middle of the week for me. I cannot tell you how happy I am right now. How calm and at ease and peaceful it is to just be love in the now and just feeling all that wow. And enjoying the silence. Anyway, wrapping up this trip, it's time to, camp's already cleaned up, so make my hot water, make my morning beverage, make my morning oatmeal. Then I'm going to head to the beach, eat that, and then go for a walk, move my body, and then start making my way back towards home base and take care of some stuff there.
How do you feed your senior dog when it's 48 degrees out? You put hot water in her food, make it mush, wrap her in a blanket, and then serve her buffet style. Not only does that warmer water warm her up, it makes it easier for her to eat it. Because it's There's the sun way over there. Here's my camper setup. No build setup. All I did was take a foam mattress, fold it in half, stuck it in a sleeping bag, put it in my back seat, put one of those little TV trays right here, and then I have my chair, my tent for the beach, a couple coolers, my wood tarp goes there, and then my tubs go in here in the back seat, and she goes in the front with me. More scenery. I'm guessing that's a bird. Could be a person. Who knows? It's the forest. But this is my spot. So here's a cool tip. Thermos, tea bag. Make your tea and take it with you. So you don't have to keep making hot water through the day. And then oatmeal, because it's simple and easy. Same with this. If you're just going on a quick day trip or something, these are perfect. And that's gluten-free and delicious. The one with blueberries is even better. But I'm going to make some bacon and eggs. And more scenery. Because why not? Look at those trees. It was quiet last night. Because they went to bed pretty early. And so, yeah. I got the cool camp spot. So, this is my hybrid van life, Highlander style. And I hope you enjoyed my adventures over this last few days. And I will be bringing more of this to you in the future. So, stay tuned for more, because you never know where I'm going to end up. And if there's some place that you would like me to go visit so you can see it through my eyes, drop a comment below. And I will put it on my bucket list of adventures to go check out. I hope you're having a bliss life. And if you want to know how to create one, I know someone that knows how. I'm a certified guide with lived experience and can guide you through your own survival to thriving transformation. Scan now to get your free guide and get started today. Thank you for joining me on this episode, and stay tuned for the next one. I go on more hikes for baths in nature's healing symphony. I join a flock of geese for the day and take an adventure through the park. I pack up my gear, grab my boots, put my hair in braids, and get ready to head out for my next hybrid van life, solo, self-sourced, sovereign camping trip for the year with my pup. And this time, we're headed to Calaveras Big Tree State Park. And these ancient trees carry me deeper into my transformation. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can traverse the next trail with me. Share with your besties. Stay sovereign, stay self-sourced, and remember, your heart is your home.
It doesn't matter where we are, home is where the heart is. It doesn't matter.